so far away, the cold has gone. You hurt my heart, I'm in the dark, I cry for you. 直到最是人间不能留。
半夜1点的不屑浪荡水间美，清晨5点的万人登上缔造大会。60年代欧洲前卫地下导演讨论会，90年代偶像复出见面握手拥抱会，零下50度北极探险为期10几天，撒哈拉普了绝对不愧三途讨厌。2夜集体贝壳歇斯底里的宣泄，好像仅有深度，放松无意识催眠。伪装逼软是谁能配对？女生公入非的就讨人才，男生玩狗射掉6块鸡排，比钱更重要的是人与线。管你小众大众我配，管你时尚新兴时尚口味我配，管你是哪一类假装我配，我配都配都配，什么都喜欢什么都会，什么都喜欢什么都会，什么都喜欢什么都会，什么都喜欢什么都会，什么都配都配都配都配都配都配都配都配。星期3下午语文及男友的约会，全套微少女装备让她非常讨
在比赛开始之前，提醒一下场内所有人员，请将您的手机调为静音或关闭状态。观看比赛时，请保持赛场安静。拍照请关闭闪光灯。赛场内禁止吸烟，谢谢合作。比赛禁止弃权，禁止为对手免球。以上行为将被视为违反体育精神的行为，会受到组委会的处罚。欢迎大家来到利百文台泥乔氏杯2025中18球大师赛南宁站的比赛现场。接下来进行的是第4阶段8进4、25至28场比赛。下面为大家介绍本场比赛出场的裁判员及运动员。2号台裁判员刘法恒，记录裁判员殷婷，运动员孔德京、马良。4号台裁判员张月秋，记录裁判员李亚帆，运动员陈思明、周龙。8号台裁判员商凯，记录裁判员张梦蝶，运动员孙源、梁时宇。TV 台裁判员刘宇，记录裁判员李勇、龚一航，运动员郑肖怀、王璐琪。现在比赛开始。
预备，3、2、1，开始。郑肖怀获得开球选择权。
Good day everyone and welcome back here to day 10 at the 2025 Joy Heyball Masters Nanning Station Division 1 Tour, all to play for now. Second last day of the tournament, last 8 players remaining. We go down to 4 after the session with the semi-finals tomorrow and the finals tomorrow evening. This tournament is presented by Joy Billiards and Libo Wind Cloth. Now on the TV table, one of my, I'll say, top 3 players to most probably reach the final. Jing Zhaohai goes up against Wang Luqi. Again, very similar break to the break we saw of Sun Yuan earlier today. Sun Yuan also through to the last 8 in this tournament. Now we did have Jing Zhaohai on the TV table. On day 9, he was up against Liu Haitao. And what I noticed about this player is there was so little errors in his game. Such a complete player from A to Z. He's had quite a few top 16 finish, last 8 at the Zhejiang Station. Top 12 finish at the Grandmasters Finals earlier this year. And now looking at going even further and getting into the last 4 of this tournament. It is single elimination in stage 4. Race to 17 for this quarter-final match. I'm your commentator, Raymond Tillack, for the Joy Heyball events. And it's my absolute pleasure to be here with you guys for the rest of the tournament. And then, of course, we have the Super Tour starting straight after this. On the 25th, we'll have the international qualifiers going on with the opening ceremony as well, all which will be streamed on our streaming platforms. And I'll be joining you guys for commentary from stage 2 onwards. I think there we see our first error. Expected that to roll in off the jaws, but not to be. Haven't had Wang Luqi on the TV table yet for stage 3 and stage 4. In the previous round, defeating Fu Jianbo 15-5. And in the last 32, Jose Alberto Delgado 15-12. So she is the player that knocked out the last remaining international player. 704 players started this tournament. Around 50 international players, 650 plus Chinese players. And at the last 32 stage, it was only one international player left. Now, Wang Luqi will be getting the 1-ball handicap. That is the rules of Heyball. Players under the age of 14 and female players get a 1-ball handicap, 1 ball off the table when playing against male players. That hasn't worked out for her. Cue ball is not safe either, so this is an opportunity for Jing Xiaohai. Nicely checking the cue ball off the right cushion to hold for the 6-ball into the top left. I got 2 options here. You can try and force stun this, but there's not too much angle, so I'd be going deep on the cue ball. He's been able to force quite an angle out of that. It's nicely on the 1 to the center, and this is what I meant. By his precision cue ball control and his cue ball movement around the table. It's nicely on the 3 to the center pocket. And again, one of those players that make this game look so easy when he's at the table. Plays the positive shot, always the right shot. Many players would have just rolled that in, try and hold the cue ball for the black ball into the bottom left corner. But the problem with trying to do that, playing it softly, high chance of deceleration on your stroke and missing the pot completely. As Jing Xiaohai takes his first point, he's leading 1-0 over Wang Luqi in this race to 17 match to get into the last 4 here at the Division 1 Tour Nanning Station. Now I do remember that when we did have him on the TV table last time, he did run 3 or 4
第二局郑小华
consecutive break-in runs. Very likely that we might see the same here. If you are wondering about the gold waistcoat, there are a few players that have the gold waistcoat here. They are Perry players. Play with Perry equipment. Very easy to notice them walking around with those gold backed waistcoats. Now ball potted on that break, and as you can see, it is winners break format throughout this tournament. No time limit on any of these matches. Even from the beginning, from stage 1, it was race to 7, no time limit, which gives both players an equal opportunity. Solids in play. He was trying to disturb the 6 a bit there, not successful. He could do here is take the 7, finish up table, then come back down on the left side for 6-4. Really, when this player's at the table, only one word comes to mind, and that's precision. He's an absolute perfectionist. And I did say he looks like one of the strongest players I've seen in this tournament thus far. Of course, another contender, Kong Derjing, still in as well. Chin Suming also in. She's playing against Zhao Long. That is on table 4. Sun Yuan up against Leng Xiu on table 8. And of the 8 left standing, if I had to pick the semi-finals, I'd say Jing Zhaohai, Kong Derjing, Chen Suming, and Sun Yuan. And from that, if I had to pick a final, I'll say Jing Zhaohai and Sun Yuan to be in the final of this Division 1 tour. That's far from an easy shot from that angle. And even that, clipping the inside jaw but making it in. That is how well he is striking the ball. Running the 6 down the left side cushion now. It's good. It was good. It is good. I would say there's a slight possibility of playing the 5 off the 12, but it's a little bit far from the pocket. To play that kind of shot. Cutting it into the center, he's going to have to move that cue ball. So you're looking at 2 cushions in and out of balk. There we go, there's 1, there's 2. He's going to use the third one as well with the bounce. That is why I said rather 2 cushions. Rather just have sight of the angle of the black ball from there. There's always a possibility of getting in behind that stripe if you're using 3. At that pace, that angle, tough to judge the slide as well. So that is a foul. It will bring Wang Luqi to the table with an opportunity to get her first point on the board. It's one of the first positional errors, or quite positional blunders that I've seen from Jing Zhaohai. It's not often that you see him making mistakes like that, especially at such important times in a frame. That's the one positional shot you don't want to mess up in a frame, to the black ball. Not out of the woods yet is Wang Luqi, a little bit far for the 10. Would have liked to be straight on this 10, to just hold the cue ball, play the 14 to the center, roll down for the black ball into bottom right corner pocket. Gonna need to move the cue ball now. See how important it is to land on the correct side. So one positional shot on the 10 means that this is now tricky getting position on the black ball. See what I mean? 1, 2, 3, 4 cushions to set up for the black ball, and all she's done is bring the cue ball into position for Jing Zhaohai. After the foul that he committed, not making contact with the black ball, I don't think he expected to be back at the table in the second frame. Looks good. It's there. Jing Zhaohai gets his second point. Shouldn't have been his, but he's managed to get it. Mistake from Wang Luqi. winners break format. It will be Jing Zhaohai to break in this third frame. So far, no break-in runs, no rack-in runs. And around 18 minutes for these two frames. Five was on its way to the center pocket, just got kicked out of the way. He's made a ball though. It is a stripe into the center. That is the 14 green stripe going into the left center pocket. Cue ball though, tight up against the ball cushion. Yeah, he's got a few options now. He could put the cue ball back onto the ball cushion. He looks to be... Yeah, he looks like he wants to take on the 4 to the bottom left corner. Right behind it. It looks good. It's there. To a pot that is. Remember, cue ball was almost tight onto the ball cushion. It was not straight. But even still, to cue that well, to cue that straight, when you just have the top edge of the cue ball to look at. Really is. He's putting on an absolute masterclass. Is Jing Zhaohai. A lot of reverse sides on that, as you saw the cue ball kick off the cushion and widen the angle coming through. I think he is one of the most positive players that I have seen in this tournament thus far. And what I mean by that is he's always taking the positive shot, even when it comes to the positional side of things. There's absolutely no fear at all in his game. I mean, the shot he just played, many of us would be thinking, what if we go into the 15? That's on the left side, cannon into the 15. You might end up behind the black ball, might end up snookered. To play that 2 cushion shot. You have to be so confident in your craft. A little bit of check sides to straighten up the cue ball off the right-hand side cushion. Black ball to the left center pocket. Absolutely clinical from Zheng Zhaohai as he gives us the first break and run of this match.
超级蓝钻皮头职业版，采用进口头层水牛皮，韧性好，弹性持久，颗颗精选，粒粒碾压，严格质检，世界职业球员必用的皮头，超级蓝钻，祝您夺冠。
Yeah, so clinical, this player Zheng Zhaohai. Really an absolute perfectionist when he's at the table. If you want to see how the game of Heyball should be played, in my opinion, this is the player to watch. Yes, of course, you have the Chu Bingjies, the Jing Yubo's, and Zhao Ruliang, Zheng Kongpeng. But there's something else about this player, and when he's at the table and the way he makes this game look, how easy he makes it look. Look at that, to miss the one ball coming around, miss the 5, miss the 1, swing the cue ball around 3 cushions for your opening shot. And having to maneuver the cue ball around the top side of the table to get it back onto the side, prime position to finish out the rack at the bottom end of the table. What you'll also notice is the demeanor when at the table. It's always the same. It's always calm. The pre-shot routine is the same. Line the cue up. Down on the shot, pause. Feather. And strike. Every time. So much importance in that pre-shot routine. Even when these players practice for 6 to 8 hours a day, it's all about that. It's drilling that in. Becomes muscle memory, so that when they have to play in matches like this, high stakes, it's almost as if they are on autopilot. A little bit of a tester, brown stripe 15 on the bottom cushion on our screen. Now here's the thing, you have 2 ways to play this as well. You can play it soft hold before the 4 and 6, or you play it to come above 4 and 6. Past 4 and 6, exactly that. I have to say, though, that is, from his standards, that's a little bit sloppy to go that far. He could have just went slightly further and played it to the center pocket. When I say by his standards, that's because his cue ball control is usually absolutely perfect. It's there, makes it to the center pocket, and that is our second break and run, second consecutive break and run for Jing Zhaohai as well. As he takes his 4th point, he's leading 4-0 over Wang Luqi. It's going to be a very, very interesting semi-final matches tomorrow. That will be at 10 a.m. local time here in China. Race to 17 as well, and then the grand final tomorrow evening at 7:30 p.m. That will be a race to 19. As you can see, this is winner's break format. So far, Jing Zhaohai on 2 consecutive break and runs. Five ball into the center pocket. Can he find another? You'll notice as well the cue ball nicely controlled. It's not a wild break, it's a controlled hit on the pack. Lining up to take on solids. There we are, right behind the bottom left corner pocket. It wasn't clean. That did go in off the inside jaw, so hit that a little bit fine, and that's why the cue ball has drifted that far. Still okay though, still on the 6. Use the 6 to get the cue ball up for the 1. You must watch this player's backhand as something that he does when he lines up the shot. He has his middle finger slightly bent on the cue. There we go. And then when he's down and once he's aimed, then he grips the cue normally and then continues. I haven't really seen that before. Cameraman did pick it up last time he was on the TV table. You'll be able to see it now. There's the middle finger, open. Once he's down, he closes it. There, closed. And then executes his shot. I have not really seen that before. Whatever he does is definitely working for him. And there we have Wang Luqi sitting in her chair. Jing Zhaohai is making her comfortable in the chair and not letting her back to the table. Nice cannon into the black ball to play it into the opposite corner pocket. And this is for a 3-pack. 3 consecutive break and runs. And it's there, he's got it. He is 5-0 up against Wang Luqi. She has had chances though in the first frame and in the second frame, chances to regain control of the table. But we are seeing one of the best performances from Jing Zhaohai at the moment. He is going to be very, very tough to beat. It's a long way to go, race to 17. But at the moment, really stamping his authority on this match. Makes the 10 ball into the right center pocket. 5 looks like it's going as well. It is. Score lines from our other matches. Kong Dejing 4-1 up against Mai Liang. Chen Siming is 3-2 up against Zhao Long. And Sun Yuan is 4-2 down against Liang Xiu. These are all race to 17 matches as well. And that is Stripes in play. He's going to be coming around. He'll be on the 9. He'll even be on the 14. That's on the ball cushion. Cue ball across for the 14 into the same pocket. And he's had a few testers in these 3 break and runs so far. It hasn't been all easy. Have been 1 or 2 balls sitting on a cushion or sitting near the cushion. He's got the pace of this table. The pace and the bounce, absolutely perfect. We have seen a few players struggling with the pace still at this stage in the tournament. Wang Luqi sitting in a chair, 5-0 down at the moment, on the receiving end of 3 consecutive break and runs. And it's looking like this is 4 loading. It's there, 4 consecutive break and run, 6-0 up. Jing Zhaohai over Wang Luqi. Wang Luqi has not touched the table in the last 4 frames.
球大师赛收官之战，利百文台尼乔氏杯2025中式八球大师赛南宁站，全球顶尖选手着陆绿城南宁，甲级赛、超级赛近1000万奖金池，虚位以待。赛事与首届南宁台球产业博览会同步启幕，以沉浸式体验空间展现中国制造，以国际高峰论坛探索品牌出海新路径，深耕南方市场，拓展中国与东盟的台球产业链之路，让中式
第7局，郑晓华开球。
Jing Zhaohai 6-0 up. 4 consecutive break and run streak at the moment. So far, that is our highest on the TV table for this tournament. Pots a ball again. That is the 11 ball into the right center pocket. And 9 ball, they call it the electric chair. When you are sitting there and just watching your opponent make quite a few consecutive runouts, especially in 9 ball with the winner's break format. It happens a lot. Now, usually, your opponent is not going to be able to run out the entire match, of course. But the problem is, when you do come back to the table, and there we have, that's Zhao Ruliang sitting in the stands. Zhao Ruliang, winner of the Zhejiang Super Tour. That was the last station where we were at on the Joy Heyball Tour. Played against his good friend Zheng Kongpeng. And back to the electric chair. So being sat in that chair for 4 or 5 or more consecutive frames, it is very tough to perform at your best when you do come to the table, because a chance is gonna come. It has to come. But at the back of your mind, you are also going to be thinking that if I miss, or if I give the table back, I'll be sat in that chair for another 5 frames. And that's why a very tough place to be in. Requires a lot of grit and mental strength to be able to come back from that. And this player at the table, Jing Zhaohai, doesn't look like he's missing anytime soon. He gets around to be on the 14 to the center. He's got direct line of sight to the black ball to play it into the bottom right corner pocket. And it's pretty much all natural angles from the 10 here on. However, the reach seems to be a bit of an issue.
延时。
And he's playing this left-handed. It's there. So far, only a few players I've seen play left-handed on the TV table. Well, change of hands. That's Sun Yuan and now Jing Zhaohai. It's all good and well changing hands in practice, but to do it on this stage, It's there. That is the 5th consecutive break and run. He is 7-0 up with 5 break and runs. Wang Luqi sat in that chair for the last 5 frames. And to understand how tough what Zheng Zhaohai is doing at the moment, if you've been watching the TV table matches, it's not often that you see this many consecutive break and runs because firstly, with the triangle rack, to get the break right, like he is doing, perfect for the last 5 frames. He's actually not had a dry break. He's broke 7 times. They've all been there. It's just that he hasn't made the finishes in the first 2. He's got those 2 points, but not the finishes. And now, 8th frame, we will have a player break after this frame. That is the 8th frame player break. Can he go into it with 6 consecutive? The 4 is good. The 4's in, made a stripe that is the 10 stripe and the 5 down as well. I think the only thing that can stop his momentum now is that player break. Might be a little bit of an error. Yes, I think it is. It could be. There we go. He's not perfect. He's not on the 1. Don't think he has the potting angle. He might need to swerve it slightly around the 2. Just bend the cue ball a bit. If not, it's got a long pot on the 3, bottom end of the table. This is to keep the streak going. He hasn't missed a ball in 5 frames. Problem I see with swerving for the 1 is even if you pot the 1, you're not going to have an easy next shot because you can't really play for position after that if you are swerving, which is why he is taking on the 3. Oh, no problem at all. Why does he even hesitate when he can pot like that? He's behind the 7 ball, having a look if the 7 passes the brown stripe 15. By the looks of it, it does. Black ball is available to the center pockets also. There we have it, the 7 does go, but you're gonna want to have to go inside jaw first. You'd rather aim for the inside jaw than the middle. Your mind is telling you don't clip the 15. And there we go. And this is for 6 consecutive break and runs. And there's it, 6 consecutive break and runs for Zheng Zhaohai. He is 8-0 up against Wang Luqi, and we will be going to the player break, so about 10 minutes player break, and that's the only thing that can stop this player's momentum at the moment.
提醒您，精彩比赛 马上开始。乔氏金腿比赛专用，提醒您，精彩比赛马上开始。一线赛事指定排名：丁俊晖、奥沙利文、郑宇博、楚秉杰等国内外一线球星代言。利百文台泥，高档羊毛皂。一点是聚焦、沉淀；一线是专注、艺术；一面是缜密、智慧。方寸间雕刻，毫厘间镶嵌。成木质之美，雕琢洞天，与腾龙之势，巧思匠心，以点线面，以小现大，步步为营，丝丝入扣，毫厘间不失方寸，握度间尽长天地。龙晕而起，潮流之势，包罗万象，读蜘蛛，匠心之作。河北省天翼集团创立于2013年，注册资金500万，员工230余名，有着10余年的生产经验及研发设计、生产销售于一体的大型生产企业。优秀的员工、先进的技术、精良的设备，严格的管理使公司得以不断的发展壮大。精确、可靠、专业是我们生产的精神和服务信念。
天一沙发让舒适无处不在。
我是代言人郑伟国，星星暴走，年轻自由。
我是代言人雨龙海，星星暴走，年轻自由。
我是代言人楚秉杰，星星暴走，年轻自由。
I was born in Louisiana. My mama told my papa our little boy has got the blues. You better watch what you do to me. Watch what you do to me. That's for no question.
冠军500万乔氏大师赛官方供应商，正红胶边均匀回弹，铸就一流打感，持续助力中式台球职业化联赛，制造好球桌，胶边选正红。
俺老孙啥功名不要，只求回到这花果山中老，过逍遥日子。
天要球杆换一切为可能。中式八球，俗称黑八，是一项原创于中国的运动，在乔氏的推动下，已走进全球96个国家。乔氏中式八球，风靡全球的中国运动。
音速胶边具有国内胶边很难做到的特点，音速胶边的硬度达到了45度，使反射角高度接近入射角。音速整条胶边误差小于20丝，因而各部位酷性一致。欢迎各品牌厂家使用音速胶边来提升台球桌的专业性能。好胶边音速造，好胶边音速造。
And we are back after that 8-frame player break with the scoreline 8-0 in favor of Jing Zhaohai against Wang Luqi. And if you are just joining us, welcome to the 2025 Joy Heyball Masters Nanning Station Division 1 Tour. I'm your commentator, Raymond Tillack, for the Joy Heyball events. And this tournament is being played on Joy Q8 table, presented by Joy Billiards and Liber Wind Cloth. And the story of this match, Jing Zhaohai currently on 6 consecutive break and runs now. Has the player break stopped his momentum? It hasn't. It looks like the 7-ball in on the break. So is he going to continue from where he left off? Earlier this morning when Sun Yan was playing, I was saying that he breaks the balls very well, and the top 3 players that break that well, Chu Bingjie, Sun Yan and Zhao Ruliang, but I have to add Jing Zhaohai to that list. So what he's doing here at the moment is nothing short of unbelievable. Now then, very close to the 3. I think the 2 goes though. As we can see, the 3 can go. The thing is, he was always coming, is always going to be coming very close to the 3. It does go. It's a tough one because of how close the cue ball is to the object ball. Using his extension, players get 45 seconds per shot, 1 extension of 30 seconds per frame. Had a lot of check sides on the cue ball to straighten it back up. Natural path would have taken it towards the 1 ball. Now with the angle that he has on the 6, what he could do here, just nudge the 4. Nudge the 4 out, up towards the center pocket. And there's the backhand. Cameraman has caught it. Yeah, look at that. At the same time, I thought if he does get off the cushion with the cue ball, he should be on the 1. He doesn't even need the 1 first. Take the 14th, then the 1, then the black ball. Can't imagine what you have to be feeling at the moment. Both players I mean, you've got Jing Zhaohai currently on 6 consecutive break and runs. How does that feel, being at the table and playing absolutely perfect? I can't believe it. He's come a little bit far on that one, but I don't think it's an issue at all for him. And then on the opposite end, you have his opponent who's been sat in that chair watching this on the receiving end of 7 consecutive break and runs. Jing Zhaohai gets his 9th point, 7th break and run. This is unbelievable. When this match started, I had absolutely no idea this would happen. Yes, he is one of the strongest players I've seen. And his performance in this tournament thus far has been nothing short of amazing. We had him on the TV table against Liu Haitao and really didn't give away any chances, and every opportunity he had, he made the most of it. But this is unbelievable. This is an unbelievable standard. 9-0 up in a race to 17 for a place in the semi-finals tomorrow morning. And he is on 7 consecutive break and runs. And is it a dry break? It is. Finally, his opponent comes to the table and he doesn't even look upset about that. I'd be distraught if I was on 7 consecutive break and runs and had a dry break. So that ends the consecutive break and run streak at 7 so far. That is a record for this tournament. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier. After sitting for 7 frames, what can Wang Luqi do now? She's 9-0 down. She has to find a way to get back into this match, and the problem is, not only does she have to finish when she's at the table, she has to break well to stay at the table. Jing Zhaohai won the leg, so he's been breaking for every single frame thus far. She hasn't had a break yet. This is what these players are trained to do. They are trained to play at this level all the time. And of course, another young talent, Zheng Tai, trained by Xing Yubo. He was eliminated. Zheng Tai, the World Games current gold medalist in Heyball. He was eliminated in stage 3 of this tournament. Finalist as well at the Grandmasters finals, lost to Niu Zhang in that final, having come through the losers bracket, playing twice a day. And that's a mistake. That was why she paused. There was always a possibility, if she doesn't get into the cue ball enough, that she was going to just clip the 15. Play the combination 15 onto 14. That's a tough one to get right, and they've gone safe again. It's tough. It is tough sitting in that chair, what they call the electric chair, for 7 frames, and having to come to the table with that kind of pressure. Yeah, because he doesn't have an off switch. He's absolutely ruthless. Is Zheng Zhaohai. And after taking that opening pot, and the position he's got from the previous shot as well, he's back in prime position, is Zheng Zhaohai. He's got options, the 6 goes, the 1 goes as well. There's hardly ever you see him trying to hold the cue ball or pull back his stroke. It's always the flowing shots, releasing the cue arm. It's so easy to play small, to try and hold always, and use a small cue action, and that's where you get caught out in this game. On these conditions, you cannot afford to decelerate ever. It has to always be positive, to always play through the cue ball. And not a break and run, but still gets the point on the board. Zheng Zhaohai leads Wang Luqi 10 frames to 0. He's got 7 break and runs to his name, and those were 7 consecutive break and runs. Having a look at some of our score lines from the other matches. Kong De Jing is 6-2 up on Ma Liang. Chen Siming is down 5-4 against Zhao Long. And surprise, Sun Yuan down 8-3 against Liang Xiu. That is definitely a surprise scoreline, but at the moment there is no scoreline with a gap as large as this. At this level, I don't think you see any nil scores. Three looks like it's in. It is 10 as well. 11 followed the 3 and also into that left center pocket. This is an unbelievable standard. The last one year, 6 months, say 18 months, I've done a lot of Heyball commentary on quite a few of the station events and the Grandmasters finals. But I've done commentary on Chu Bingjie as well, Jun Yubo. But this is one of the highest standards I've seen. And it's the consistency that's so scary. It's the way he played against Liu Haitao. Could have called that a one-off, but it's not. He plays consistently at this level. That's how he achieved a top 12 finish at the Grandmasters finals. Last 8 at the Zhejiang station. But really, those statistics don't do him justice. Because you could be watching the next #1 player in the world. He's just 24 years of age. If he continues like this, on this upward trajectory of his career, what does he play like when he's 30? 6 years' time, 8 hours practice a day, playing tournaments every month, every few weeks. Really scary to imagine. That's a 5-ball that is a slight issue. Look, there's a bit of angle on this 4. Can he get the cue ball onto that side of the table for the 5? Yes, he can. Now the 2-ball does go into the center, but that's not the issue. It's the black ball. The black ball is just far enough from the pocket to make it slightly awkward. And that's why he's went that route. He's gone 2 cushions, so he'll make sure he's high on the 2 to get the cue ball back down closer to the black ball and reduce the incoming angle that he needs to pot that black ball. Watch the 9. Watch the 9. Second error that I've seen in this match from him. And it's come before the black ball. Second frame as well. He did something similar. Not worth using the jump cue here. He's going to be going 1 cushion. I expect him to come very close to potting this. Yeah, very close indeed, but it is not going to be a break and run. So table over to Wang Lu Chi. What is she thinking at the moment? On the receiving end of 7 consecutive break and runs, 10-0 down, race to 17, and you come to the table and you are faced with the black ball sitting right in the corner pocket. And she has conceded that point. I mean, yeah, it was a simple black ball for Zheng Zhaohai after that. That is 11-0. Not often you see the conceding, though, at this level. I think there is a little bit of frustration there, of course. Wouldn't be human if there wasn't. There you have the stats. Break and run 7. Consecutive break and run 7. Scoreline favoring Zheng Zhaohai, 11 frames to 0. And I don't understand the words the referee said to her, but I can tell you what I think he did. I think he said to her that conceding is not allowed at this level, which as I said, we don't see. You are not allowed to concede a frame during the match. Yes, what you'll usually see is at the end of the match, if there's a player that's on the hill and has a straight in black ball, opponent will concede as a sign of respect, but not in a situation like that, middle of the match. Ball potted again on the break, and that is his 12th break. It is the 12th frame he did win the leg. He has had 100%. My mistake, he's had one dry break. Yes, he's had one dry break in 12 frames. So that brings his percentage of potting a ball on the break to 92%. One of the highest that we've seen in the tournament thus far. Two stripes left on the table. This is not simple though, to get the position on the 11 ball to the center pocket. There's hardly any room for error. And that's why he's had to play it with a lot of inside to bring the cue ball back onto that side to make sure he wasn't going to be snookered by the black ball. Now soft screw over to the right side of the table to play the black ball into the bottom left corner pocket. And here we go again. That's his 12th point and 8th break and run. He's starting the consecutive streak again. If you have just joined us, we are live at the 2025 Joy Heyball Masters Nanning Station Division 1 Tour. You are watching the last 8 players remaining in this tournament from 704. It is single elimination, and on the TV table, Zheng Zhaohai against Wang Luqi. The score is 12-0. The score is 12-0, and he is on 8 break and runs, 7 of which were consecutive. This is a race to 17 for a place in the semi-finals of this tournament. Semi-final will be played tomorrow at 10 a.m. local time here in China, with the final being at 7:30 p.m. tomorrow evening. And tell me, how do you not call this player as your favorite? So far, 13 breaks, just 1 dry break. Sitting at around a 92% rate of potting a ball on the break. And that is one of the highest we've seen as well. So trying to break all the records at the moment is Zheng Zhaohai. So far, most consecutive break and runs we've seen in this tournament. Is there way back for Wang Luqi? Seven ball is a bit of a tester for him. There might be a possibility of a chance. Yeah, that was not easy, especially playing it the way he did. Trying to top it in, it's never easy. So we aren't going to be seeing consecutive break and run streaks starting just yet. Yeah, she's smiling, and tell you why she's smiling. She's thinking, I come to the table. I hardly come to the table, and when I do, this is what I'm faced with. Honestly, she'll be doing well to be in good spirits. Being 12-0 down, being on the receiving end of those 7 consecutive break and runs. So she's missed the 15, but she's left it in the jaws, which has blocked path of the 3 to that corner pocket. A little bit surprised by that shot choice. So he is playing the 3 onto the 15. Is he playing for a double drop here? Because if he doesn't get it, he's leaving an open table for Wang Luqi. And she's got a chance. She's got a chance to get her first point on the board. And there goes the 11 off the table. And Wang Luqi is going to get her first point on the scoreboard. It's there. The score is 12-1. Look, I've seen some of her matches. I've seen some of the score lines. She's an excellent player given the opportunity, and now she has the opportunity. She's going to be at the table breaking. Is there a way back for Wang Luqi? 12-1 down, race to 17. On table 2, Kong Dejing is 9-2 up against Ma Liang. Chen Siming is 8-5 up against Xiaolong. And Sun Yan is 10-5 down against Liang Xiu. Those are the top 8 players left in this tournament. It's a big break. There's a lot of power in that. Is she going to make a ball? I don't see one. No. It was a controlled cue ball. A lot of side on the cue ball though, but it was controlled. And Zheng Zhaohai back at the table. That is what the electric chair does to you. That is the effect it has. Even when we were watching Zheng Zhaohai against Liu Haitao, I did say the one factor that I have not seen from this player is his ability when he is down on the scoreboard. So far, in the matches I've seen, he's always been ahead, he's always been front running. And it's also a different element thrown into the mix when you are the player that's down. In this situation, what would be his mindset, or how would he play if he was the player that was 12-1 down? Watching him, would you feel like there's a chance that he could come back? Would the demeanor change? Would the shot selection change? That's one thing I haven't seen yet from Zheng Zhaohai. He's been playing too well to go down, unfortunately. Oh, nice little kiss on the 14. Opens up the path for the 6. He's too good. Now that being said, the Division 1 Tour, which is this tournament, is an open draw tournament. 704 players, 50 or so internationals, 650 plus Chinese players. So as an international player, you can end up facing Zheng Zhaohai in the first round. That is what an open draw means. You can play Zheng Taiyi in the first round. Now that being said, you can understand why it was such a big achievement for Jose Alberto Delgado from Spain to make it into the last 32 of this tournament. Having come through a full field of Chinese players. And that's the player who eliminated him, sitting in her chair, Wang Luqi. Defeated Jose Delgado yesterday evening. That score was 15-12. .13 on the board, and that is a rack and run for Zheng Zhaohai now. It is off the dry break from Wang Luqi, so he is back in prime position, controlling the table, breaking in the next frame. Sun Yuan has gone down 11-5 against Liang Xiu. Chen Siming 8-6 up against Zhao Long, and Kong Dejing 9-3 up against Ma Liang. Scoreline here is 13-1 race to 17. Jing Zhaohai with 8 break and runs, 7 consecutive 1 rack and run. That was in the previous frame. And that is his second dry break. So there is a slight opening for Wang Luqi to pick up another frame. It was a clever shot she played there to release the black ball, which was not potable. Had the perfect angle on that to get into it, but the cue ball has come slightly too far. She's wrong side of the 13. Which means if she wants to continue this visit at the table, she's gonna have to shift that cue ball. There we go, 1, 2, 3 cushions coming around, nudges into the 7, it's okay. She'll take that. Now remember, one ball does come off the table, her last ball, so doesn't have to play the 15, which is close to the ball cushion. This is what she needs, though, to get the confidence back up, spend some time at the table. It's gonna be a medium distance black ball if she wants to take the second point. It's there, solid pot on that black ball from Wang Luqi as she gets her first rack and run of this match and second point.
全桥市是桥市中的桥市，全国各地区球房的典范。一句全桥市代表着球房档次、服务、口碑全部到位，有实力，全桥市。
Score is 13-2, race to 17. That's 15 frames played. We will have a player break after this frame. Wang Luqi to break, and this is her second time in the match breaking. First one was dry. Can she do better? A lot of power once again makes the 13 into the center pocket. Really, the only way out for her is to put together a few consecutive break and runs. It's the only way. She cannot afford to let Jing Shao hide to the table. Solids in play for Wang Luqi, and solids are looking quite good here. Oh, just that would have been a foul if that ball didn't fall. Ball has to make contact with the cushion, either the cue ball or the object ball after contact. A little bit close for comfort there. Now, the 6 ball is the only ball of hers that is up table. That's the green 6. One of these balls will come off the table, so she doesn't even have to go up for the 6. She can take the 7, stay on this side of the table. Because naturally getting from the 7 to the black ball will be easier than getting from the 6 to the black ball, but deciding to take the 7 first. Still playing the positive shots is Wang Luqi. Nice to see that. And she is slowly but surely making her way back. She gets her 3rd point on the board with a break and run of her own. She's got 1 break and run, 1 rack and run. Score is 13-3. That is the 16 frame player break. We will be back in about 5 minutes.
提醒您，精彩比赛马上开始。
老孙啥功名不要，只求回到这花果山中了，过过逍遥日子。
天要球杆，化一切为可能。欧尚地毯，突破核心科技，从智能车间到高品质球房，重新定义标准，为每 每一个台球梦想铺好第一步。铺好毯，打好球，不掉毛，零干扰。
职业选手的第一选择，欧尚地毯，掉毛地毯终结者。
超级蓝钻皮头职业版，采用进口头层水牛皮，韧性好，弹性持久，颗颗精选，粒粒碾压，严格质检，世界职业球员必用的皮头，超级蓝钻，祝您夺冠！
罂粟胶边具有国内胶边很难做到的特点，罂粟胶边的硬度达到了45度，使反射角高度接近入射角。罂粟整条胶边误差小于20丝，因而各部位酷性一致。欢迎各品牌厂家使用罂粟胶边来提升台球桌的专业性能。好胶边罂粟皂，好胶边罂粟皂。
超级蓝钻皮头，黄金版、白金版，采用进口头层水牛皮，颗颗精选，严格质检，韧性好，弹性持久，世界职业球员必用的皮头，超级蓝钻，一专业，缔造不凡。2025赛季中式八球大师赛收官之战，利百文台尼乔氏杯2025中式八球大师赛南宁站，全球顶尖选手着陆绿城南宁，甲级赛、超级赛近1000万奖金池，虚位以待。赛事与首届南宁台球产业博览会同步启幕，以沉浸式体验空间展现中国制造。以国际高峰论坛探索品牌出海新路径，深耕南方市场，拓展中国与东盟的台球产业链之路，让中式八球的竞技美学与文化内核跨越国界，为推中入奥、注入东盟动能，书写“一带一路”体育人文交流。
暂停结束，比赛继续。第17局，王路奇开球。
And we are back after that player break. The scoreline 13-3 in favor of Jing Zhaohai. It was 12-0. Wang Luqi making her way back slowly. She's got one break and run, one rack and run so far. But the story, Jing Zhaohai, 7 consecutive break and runs. That's how he's been able to pull such a lead. But the player at the table, Wang Luqi, can do the same. There is absolutely nothing stopping her from making a couple of consecutive break and runs as well. She's been breaking well, and having sat in that chair for so long, it's nice to see her playing positively. Does she have sight on the one? I think she does. Can get to the potting angle of the one. In our other matches, we've got Kong De Jing 11-4 up against Ma Liang. Chen Ziming 10-6 up on Zhao Long. And Sun Yan is 12-5 down against Liang Xiu. Took her eye off the pot, unfortunately, and it's not going to be consecutive break and runs for Wang Luqi. Now, if you would like to watch the other matches that I have mentioned, they are on liveqq.com. So the link is live.qq.com. If you go onto that page, and it is in Chinese, so you'll have to translate it using Chrome browser and select live streaming billiards. You will see those tables being streamed as well. Unfortunately, we can't share the links onto Facebook. Facebook blocks the links. But all you have to do is go onto your Chrome browser, type in live.qq.com. I mean, look at that shot example. Played that so positively at that pace, coming perfectly around for the 13. It's going to disturb the 10 as well. He doesn't want to push it too far. He's pushed it too far, unfortunately. It's gone from one side of the cushion on this side of the center pocket to the top side. Don't think he's got enough angle. It's not much angle on this 12 ball to get the cue ball to the 10. It's possible though, depending how much can he get out of that angle. If he wants to stun into that 10. Yes, that's what he wants to do. Just that little cannon might make it available to the center pocket now. He's tried to go into the 10 again, and where is the cue ball? Does he even have sight of it? Yeah, I don't know if I would call that a slightly reckless shot. That was always going to be the situation. If he missed the cannon on the 10, he was going to lose the cue ball. Now, does he play that shot because he's 13-3 up? That is a solid prot from Wang Luqi. She only needs the 5 ball. The 1 will come off the table for her to get another point here. This is exactly what she needs to do. Just keep on taking these chances that she's been given, making the most out of them. Could have gone slightly further with the cue ball, but she should be okay. Black ball to the bottom left corner pocket. It's there, no problem at all. She gets her 4th point on the board. The score is 13-4 in favor of Jing Zhaohai. Now scoreline from our other matches on table 2. Kong Dejing 12-4 up against Ma Liang. Chen Siming 10-6 up against Zhao Long, and Sun Yan 13-5 down against Liang Xiu. That is a surprise scoreline, but I did say when we saw Sun Yan on the TV table this morning that he was a little bit too loose with the cue ball, and if he played a better caliber player, he was definitely going to be punished, and that looks like that's what's going on that match. And that's cue ball straight in from Wang Luqi. Her break is, it's got a lot of power, but a little bit wild. As you can see, she loses the cue ball quite often. This time it's a foul, cue ball going into the center pocket, ball in hand behind the balk line for Jing Zhaohai. Also in Heyball rules, you have to play forward down table. You can't play any of the balls that are within the balk area. Needs a cue ball to hold up, but he was playing on the 13. Not only was he playing on the 13, he was playing to be straighter on the 13. So if he wants to close this match out, he needs to also be making the most of his opportunities now. He needs to get back in control of the table, meaning breaking. It's there, it's good. That's if it has the pace. It just does. And that was a much harder shot than it looked like, because he couldn't do much with the cue ball. He had to roll it in. He had to drop it in dead weight. Couldn't afford to stun the cue ball across. You risk going into the 3. Even if you pull it too much, you're going into the 12. He's had to play it like that. And that is 14th point on the board for Jing Zhaohai, with another rack and run off that foul break from Wang Luqi.
冠军500万乔氏大师赛官方供应商，正红胶边均匀回弹，铸就一流打感，持续助力中式台球职业化联赛，制造好球桌。胶边选正红。
He's back in prime position as Jing Zhaohai, just 3 away from the finish line, leading 14-4 over Wang Luqi. This is a race to 17 winners break format for a place in the last 4 semi-final match, which will be tomorrow at 10 a.m. local time in China. It is a redraw before each round of this tournament. What has changed? Something has changed with the break. He's getting a few dry breaks now. This is great opportunities for Wang Luqi. That is stripes in play. I think she's just come far enough. Very close to being right on top of the 15 ball. She'll do well here to get this 5th point on the board. I think if she can make it to 10, she'll feel like she's really back in this game, in this match. Scoreline is very different, 12-0 to 14-4. And the stripes are all out in the open. Black ball available to both center pockets also. She's actually got a choice here which ball to leave as her last ball. Can opt for both routes. So it's going to be the 9 that goes off the table after the 12 goes towards the top right corner pocket. Though the pot on the 12 is slightly tougher, she felt that it was easier to get on the black ball from there, less work to do with the cue ball. Makes it off the outside jaw. It's there. The 9 goes off the table. And that is another rack and run for Wang Luqi as she takes her 5th point. Slowly but surely getting back into this match. That is her 2nd rack and run. She's got 1 break and run, 2 rack and runs. Zheng Zhaohai, 8 break and runs, 2 rack and runs, 7 of which were consecutive. On table 2, Kong Dejing is 13-5 up against Ma Liang. Chen Siming 11-7 up against Xiaolong. Sun Yan is still down, now 13-6 against Liang Xiu. Previous frame, dry break from Zheng Zhaohai. And that gave her the opportunity to get another point on the board.
Yeah.
So as you can see, she is also breaking well, and I feel that's the reason she's able to make this comeback. It's a very different case if she wasn't breaking well and giving the table back to Zheng Xiaohai all the time, but she has been doing well to keep the table. And the break has changed because in the last few breaks that Zheng Xiaohai has had, he has been the player breaking dry. That is almost perfect. The only problem is she might be hampered by the 9. That is the only issue she might have. So far executed this clearance perfectly. It's there. She gets her 6th point on the board with a break and run. That is her 2nd break and run. She's got 2 break and runs, 2 rack and runs. And the score is 14-6. Very big difference from 12-0 down. Now, I'll ask the question again. Is there a way back for Wang Luqi? I think there is. If she can bring that scoreline to 10 before Zheng Xiaohai can get to 15, then there is definitely a chance. But because we also know what he's capable of with those 7 break and runs, he only needs 3 frames. But what this young lady needs is to stay at the table. A lot of power in that, almost losing the cue ball. Black ball goes in, and the 14. So now she has the choice. She has the choice whether to replace the black ball and continue, or to break again. And looking at the layout, looking at where the cue ball has stopped, and there are quite a bit of clusters, she has chosen to break again. Now in the rules of Heyball, it actually is beneficial to the player breaking to pot the black ball. If you pot nothing else, the black ball is counted as a ball potted. And it means you get the opportunity or the choice to stay at the table or to break again. So here we go again. There was a bit more power in that break. There was definitely more pop as the cue ball almost left the table. Don't see a ball in though. And that's going to mean that Zheng Xiaohai comes to the table. He has given away a few frames. There was a frame at 13-3 where he played a shot where I thought it was a little bit reckless. And I said, did he play that because he's 10 frames up? Well, now he is only 8 frames up. And it's looking like his opponent can make a comeback if given the opportunity, so he has to be careful. Of course, it's a massive advantage to be as far ahead as he is. He's really in the driving seat. Short of a miracle and Wang Luqi hitting 5+ consecutive break and runs, it's going to be very tough for her to come back. So barring that, he should be able to close out this match, but we have seen stranger things happen in this game. What plays in his favor here is all his solids are now top end of the table. Black ball is there as well. Definitely makes things a little more simpler for him going about this clearance. Plays that shot so well. Threading the gap off 2 cushions. Like, you don't see much negative body language from Zheng Zhaohai, but there is some. Like, you can't tell when he feels he's not perfect on a shot. For example, now you can see the amount of time it's taking him, also how many times he's chalked that cue. And this is why he's almost dead straight on the 6 ball. He wanted more of an angle to get into a better position for the 4, and that's why he's deep screwing back. And that is 15th point on the board for Zheng Zhaohai with another rack and run. He leads 15-6 over Wang Luqi, and that is the gap back up to 9 frames. Now 15-6. He has 8 break and runs, 3 rack and runs to his name. His opponent, Wang Luqi, 2 break and runs, 2 rack and runs. At the break is back. He's got the 6, he's got the 10. 15 also going into the center pocket. That's 3 balls on that break. Scores from the other tables: Kong Dejing 14-6 up against Ma Liang. Chen Siming 11-8 up against Xiaolong, and Sun Yan 13-8 down against Liang Xiu. But at the moment, this man here, player of the tournament. He's come around and he's knocked the 2. It looks like it could be portable into the center pocket. It's very tight though. This is similar to the shot that he had on the 10 ball when he was 13-3 up. He's played a deep screw then to try and knock it out, and it's gone all wrong, and that's when I feel that the game changed slightly. when he could have played to be on position for it like that and potted it like that. Now cue ball in and out of balk. 1, 2, 3 cushions, needs a bounce to be on the 5. It's not hard enough to be nicely on the 5. The 1 is still available across table. This is a tough 5. This is far from easy, and there's just 5 stripes left on the table. Wang Luqi only needs 4 of them. It's not an issue though when you can pot like that. How clean was that? Really, if you've played this game and you've played on this table, you'll know how difficult a shot like that is. To get that right, control the cue ball at the same time. Looking for the gap between black ball and green stripe 14. He has it. There's 3 ways to play the 7. Run through, kiss off the 11 or screw back. Run through, kiss off the 11. It's on the black ball to the bottom right corner pocket, getting the cue ball cleaned as well. Now that does come off the player's time. Players do have 45 seconds per shot. 1 extension of 30 seconds in a frame. Looks good, is it? It is good. 16th point on the board for Zheng Zhaohai. And there we have Abdul Rahman from Egypt, one of our international players at this tournament, sitting in the stands. Score 16-6. It's back to a 10-frame gap, and that is his 9th break and run, 3 rack and runs. 7 of those 9 were consecutive. Wang Luqi with just the 2 break and runs and 2 rack and runs. Zheng Zhaohai now on the hill, 16-6 up in this race to 17 for a place in tomorrow's semi-final. We have no idea who will be playing or from which matches who will be playing, because it is a redraw before the start of each round, as you would have seen when the live stream started. The 11 is there. Doesn't make the 7 into the opposite center pocket. I think it just went far. It did, but doesn't need to, since he has potted the 11.
延时。
playing for the 3 straight away, getting rid of that. He's got an angle as well. He's gonna be on the 7. The 4 seems to be the only issue I see on the table. That's if it doesn't go. If it does, he does have the connector, which is the 2 on the left side. With this camera angle, we can just see it looks like the 4 does. What he could do here is play around for the 2 now. There we go, on that side of the table. It's very clean the way he plays. He knows exactly where the cue ball is going. No unnecessary kisses or cannons. Extension goes onto the cube. Cue ball is more than halfway across the table. These are 9-foot Q8 steel block cushion joy tables that we are playing on, clothed with the Lieberwind 8848. Now we see it that the 4 does go. Better cue ball this time, doesn't have to reach that far across the table. He's going to need one good pot and positional shot here to get onto the 6. Can't be more perfect than that. Cannot be more perfect than that. That would be another break and run for Zheng Zhaohai. 17-6. One of the best performances we have seen. Take a bow, Zheng Zhaohai. He is definitely a favorite to win this tournament. 17-6 over Wang Luqi. She didn't really have much of a chance. I mean, those 7 consecutive break and runs that did it. In total, Zheng Zhaohai 10 break and runs, 7 of which consecutive, 3 rack and runs. His opponent 2 break and runs and 2 rack and runs. Match is still on at the moment. Kong De-jing against Ma Liang, 14-7 up. Chen Siming is 11-8 up on Zhao Long, and Sun Yan is 13-8 down against Liang Xiu. This is the round of last 8 players. We will have the semi-final tomorrow at 10 AM. Player already through is Zheng Zhaohai with an incredible performance on the TV table. So we will be back tomorrow at 10 AM. Thank you guys for joining us. It was a pleasure being here with you guys. I'm your commentator for the Joy Heyball events, Raymond Tillack from South Africa, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.